Yo, 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 it's Dash and JD, and this is Weeknights. How do we like that?
That was very energetic. Just
Yeah,
wasn't expecting that, but that was good.
thank you. I feel like that's the best intro I've ever done.
And you were channeling somebody too.
No, I wasn't.
It's okay. It
I
was a
know who
good
you're
intro.
talking about, and no, I wasn't.
Okay.
I was channeling any DJ from the 90s and the early 2000s.
Yes, this is weeknights. Introduce yourself. Oh, you introduced both of us, so
I
let's just
did.
get the party started.
Because you were too busy over here being shady. Because I know exactly
Shady,
who you
Shady
think I was
Records.
channeling.
I don't think that's shady. I think I just we all channel are we are all inspired by others. And as a song I once said says, a song I once wrote says, everybody's a mimic.
Once again, I'll say that I was channeling the disc jockeys of yesteryear.
Got it.
But anywho, yeah, so we're here and it's Thursday. And
It is Thursday.
we've got some things to talk about.
Yep.
First on the
So
docket,
Cardi Bizzle.
Cardi B. Take it away,
Yeah. Oh, she
JD.
might not like Bizzle, so let me not add that to her name. I don't want no beef.
We don't need no
Uh,
person.
so
Okay.
Cardi B says the album is ready, y'all. In fact, I'm gonna let her tell y'all.
Yes,
Here you
please
go.
play the audio.
The announcement is right down near. We already got the numbers of the song, and we already practically know all the songs that we want. I'm not even gonna lie to you, I'm waiting for some features. And I know that I don't like to pressure artists because I know everybody be busy, but like I'm still waiting on them, and it's like I have to press these vinyls ASAP. I don't want to miss this opportunity. I'll sing this shit myself. I feel like nobody will want to miss being on this album. Like, these motherfuckers almost cried. The announcement is listening to my shit. They was like, oh, I feel like there's no skips. And it's like, I'm telling y'all, like I have to press these vinyls. I need these vocals. Where y'all at? Where these girls at? I really be taking my time because I really be doing 100 things. So that's why I don't like to pressure people. But it's like, listen, you don't want to miss this opportunity. Please be part of this moment because it's gonna be iconic. Like you don't even understand how iconic this moment. This moment is for the books. These moments is for the fucking books. Like this album is for the books. Listening to my shit, they was like, oh, I forgot.
Can I go
There you
first? Because
go.
I feel like you're about to talk shit. So can I go?
Damn, I'm catching mad strays, and we've been on 2 minutes. Good.
No, you're not. So, okay, let me ask you a question rather. Let's chat.
What in the world is going on today? Good. What's your question, yo?
Let's chat.
How can I help you, Dash?
You think Cardi's telling the truth?
I think it's great that Cardi is excited about her album. That's what I think.
Do you think that Cardi B in that video was telling us the truth?
That she's waiting for features? Yeah,
You think so?
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But why would she lie about that?
I don't know. But Cardi B has been talking about this album for a long time.
Yeah. And so is ready. And she's ready to press up vinyls, but she's waiting on features. You don't believe that? I don't think she would lie about that.
I just think a lot of it feels like smoke and mirrors.
Oh, okay. See, one today we the opposite. I thought it was great that Cardi was excited.
No, I think it's cool Cardi's
I
excited. I
love
love
the energy in this video.
I was just about to say I love it when Cardi's excited. I do. Um, I love that she was bigging herself up and saying that the album was iconic. That gave me pause, but it's fine because you say the album is
No,
iconic.
she said the moment is going to be iconic.
Hey, but she's also saying people cried when they heard her album.
and said there's no skips.
Right. So is there a
So
difference between the
we don't know the
moment and the
time.
album?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It could be the rollout, it could be the video, it could be the visuals, it could be a mix of all the things. Yeah. She said this
I
moment is going to be iconic, though.
I
She
hope
said
the
it's going to
moment is
be
iconic. I'm skeptical.
okay.
I just that is a lot of energy for a project that people have been waiting for a long time. And yes, should she be energetic? Should she be excited to put out her album? Absolutely. I think that's what people have been waiting on. But I'm just kind of like, I hope it is good.
I'm looking up when her first album dropped.
A long ass time ago,
2018.
a long ass to 6 years,
6, 7.
7. Sorry,
Yeah, April 6th, 2018.
7 years, exactly 7 years. So
And a month. No, I'm just playing.
right, they'll say I can't count. So that's all. I just feel like this is a lot of anticipation. And sure, I agree that you should be hyping things up at this point. If it truly is coming soon, then yes, you want people to be excited. You should be excited. If you get excited, the idea is that everybody else will get excited. Sure, all of those things are true. I just there's no skips on the album is a very bold statement.
That's subjective.
It is, but that's why I'm saying it's a listen. Y'all enjoy Cardi's album. I just feel like I hope it is that good. I hope that what she's saying after there being so long of a time between albums, after all of the build up and all of the confusion on whether she was going to put out an album or not, I do hope that in fact it is coming, and I do hope that in fact it is that good.
Okay, I believe it's coming. I believe Cardi. I think she keeps it pretty real, with her fans. And I think after 7 years of not putting out an album, she's put out singles here and there. But after 7 years of not putting out an album, I would imagine that a person would be super excited. Excuse me. Yeesh, that was rude. I would imagine a person would be super excited.
Okay. I yawn all the time and don't do it on purpose.
Yeah. It just was funny because I'm in the middle of saying Cardi's super excited and I put out like a huge yawn. But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, I would imagine anybody would be super excited after not putting out a full project for 7 years. And in those 7 years, Cardi has gone through a lot. So this music um is probably going to reflect that, right? Like her first album was Joe Budden always says you have your whole life to write your first album because
Okay.
you have all your life experience being put into that first project. But
Mm-hmm.
the sophomore project is the challenge,
Yeah.
right? Everyone talks about the sophomore slump. And so Cardi has been through a lot. That probably will help this project be, who knows, a better project, maybe. I don't know. But what I do know is you should be excited when you're putting out music. One.
Of
Two,
course.
Cardi and her fans have been waiting a long time for this project.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I didn't even know my watch Bluetooth was on. I just got a notification and got really confused. I was like, is my heart rate dangerously high because of Cardi? What? Cardiac arrest? Just kidding. Uh cardiac arrest.
Oh no, I got
Anyway,
it. I got it.
anyway, I rap too. Anyway, um yeah, I just think it's been so long since Cardi has put out music. I think that it's right that she would be excited. In fact, I would be a little concerned if she went up there and sounded like Eeyore, and she was like, "Hi guys, the album's almost done, and
Oh yeah,
I'm just waiting on features, but it's gonna be good. I think you'll like it."
I think excited is great. I don't think there's anything wrong with excitement. I'm just saying there's excitement and then there's no skips on my album. And
Well, see, it's possible
people
that
cried
Cardi and
listening
her
to her. She
people,
said people cried listening to her album. Like
we don't know what's on it, D.
we
We
don't
don't know.
but that's my point. We don't this could be a crock of shit. Is what is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're giving Cardi no grace. All right.
No, but I did because I said it's okay for her to be excited. She should pick herself up. I understand that. All I'm saying is that is whether you agree with me or not. I think saying my album has no skips is a very bold statement,
Sure.
especially for somebody who only has one album to go off of.
That's true. That's a good point.
So I'm not trying to bring her down. I'm not trying to take her down. I don't want this to be misunderstood in that way. I'm just saying it doesn't matter who it is. Somebody coming out and saying, "Oh man, album got no skips." We all gonna be sitting there waiting for an album that has no skips, and then we're gonna be disappointed if we get one that doesn't.
Um,
So
I,
and like you
I
said, it's
hear
subjective. Just cause Cardi and the people she sent it to are crying over it doesn't mean we will cry, and it doesn't mean that we will think it has no skips. Which is why I'm saying I think that is a very bold statement to make,
it is a
especially
bold
when you
statement.
just been dropping Lucy's here and there. You have not put out an album in 7 years. That's a big statement that I hope she can live up to. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
It's like we switched roles today.
And I like Cardi very much, and I've said that here before.
Oh yeah, we definitely switched roles today. This is how I end.
All
This is how
right.
I end my critiques too. I'm saying I love Ryan Coogler, okay, but just this sinner shit ain't as good as y'all making it seem. But
Don't
I
say I've
love
never
him.
listened to
He's
music a day
great.
in my
I love all
life.
his films. That's how I be wrapping up my hate.
Yep, I'll wait for all of the hateration and the holleration in our comment dancery because I'm sure it's coming. People will hate the things I've said, and I'm not. And again, I am not trying to take her down. I am not trying to say anything bad. I liked Cardi's first album.
Mm.
I enjoyed it very much, actually.
So you should you
And
should
I've
you
been
should be
looking forward to a Cardi album
yeah.
for a long time, 7 years apparently, and I just get nervous when
Uh-huh.
y'all come out and y'all are like, "Let me tell you how good my album is," and then your album comes out and either it's incomplete or like because they be like, "Ooh, coming out with an album, no skips. Now it's an EP." Or coming out with an album, no skips, and then you got like trash beats or something. Like I just want to make sure that when you say what you say, that you mean what you say.
I'm a little shocked by this. I gotta be honest, because we grew up in the era where everyone was on 106 in Park and Hot 97 and all the hot press of that time. And everyone would say the same shit when their album was coming out. Yo, I'm telling you, this is my best work. The album, the best thing I ever put out. Yo, I'm telling y'all,
You're
when
right.
the album dropped on, what was it, Tuesdays back then, I think. Yeah, Tuesday. It was like when the album come out on Tuesday,
You're
I'm
actually
telling y'all,
right.
this is groundbreaking, this one. They used to all say that. Our whole teenage and like young adult years. They
You're
all would say
absolutely
that.
right.
Everyone, Ludacris, Jay-Z, Nelly, all the rappers, you name them. Nas, well, maybe not Nas, but everybody was saying like every album was their best work. The fans were gonna love it. Like then the term instant classic came out when we were like in our early 20s, and that's the new shit niggas started saying. Yeah, this one about to be an instant classic, y'all. I'm telling you.
You're
So
absolutely
I'm a
right.
little shocked that this is your take because, and this I ain't trying to change your mind. I'm just saying I'm a little shocked
Hmm.
because we heard that our whole damn near our whole lives.
I
Everybody,
also
yeah, nah, yo, yo, man, I'm telling you, like this the best shit I've done so far. You feel what I'm saying? Like I know y'all was digging the last one, but this one though, this one about to be crazy. Like, oh man, and the single. Wait till y'all hear the single. I'm telling you, man, like yo, Sway. I ain't trying to toot my own horn, but Sway, this one is crazy.
you are right. You are right. I also didn't critique music then.
Touche,
So,
touche. Let's move on.
we spend a lot of time listening to these albums,
We do.
you and I.
We do.
So,
You right, girl. You right.
a girl just wants it to be worth it. That's all.
All right. Well, I guess we'll be waiting.
Yeah.
Um. All right. So something we were waiting for a long time. We spoke about it up here. I don't even remember how long ago, but there was an ODB doc that was supposed to come out called "A Tale of Two Dirties,"
Yeah.
and it was put together by A&E. Um, and we were excited about it, but then we couldn't find it
Hmm.
anywhere. And then one day I was scrolling on Hulu. I was like, "Hey, wait a minute, ain't this the one?" And it was the one. And so I told you, and we watched it, and now it's time for us to give y'all a review.
Yeah.
So you started last time. I'll start this
Oh no,
time to be
please, you
fair.
go. Please.
This nigga here, yo.
I think this will go a little bit differently than the last topic, but you go.
Okay.
I mean, I'm one of the biggest ODB fans, so you go.
Okay. Um. Yeah. So I thought it was a good doc. I thought it was serious. I thought it was funny. I thought it was sad.
Yeah.
I think they did a good job of showing us um life outside of music.
Yeah.
A lot of times, and we've spoke about this before. Actually, just the other day we were talking about this when we spoke about the Muhammad Ali series that's coming, the greatest. Um, a lot of times we hear about the career of the person, the thing they are famous for, but
Yeah.
we don't. We seldom hear about life outside of that, right?
The
It's like
man.
right or the woman, right?
Or
Like
the well,
just
I'm in this case the man, but yes.
in this case the man, right? So but we seldom hear about the person, right? It's like
Yeah.
you might hear about, yeah, they grew up in this blah blah blah, but then it like jumps to once their career starts, we don't hear too much about their struggles or their real life situations.
Especially
um
people of the past. And
right,
I
exactly.
use the past loosely, but people of the past, people who are
Mm.
coming up now or people who are active now have more of an opportunity to share their lives because of the fact that we're so connected. But years ago,
Right.
we weren't as connected as we are today, so there was little opportunity for that. You had to create that in some way, whether it was MTV always used to do those lifestyle shows and
Mhm.
different things like that. So yeah, so I just wanted to say that. Please go ahead.
No, no, that was great. Yeah, no, I agree. And so we seldom get that, even in like a lot of biopics or whatever. You see more about like the career of the person, the thing the person is famous for. So they did a good job speaking about his, his struggles with drugs, his
Mhm.
struggles with adultery, um, struggle with the label, lots of different things, both in and out of music, and how some of those things intertwined. And so I thought it was balanced. Um, it was nice to hear from those who are close to him. I know every member of the Wu Tang Clan did not speak or participate in this. But it was nice to hear these candid stories from those who did.
Mhm.
Some stuff we got via footage. Other
Yeah.
things we got, you could tell they did full interviews. You could tell Ghostface and Raekwon did full interviews.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really good. Um, I think it's a sad story, but I think they told it. Oh, and Mariah Carey, we got lots of stories from Mariah herself, which I would be honest, I was shocked to see Mariah on camera that much. I was like, man, they gave Mariah enough money for 2 minutes, and we never gonna see her again. But Mariah was there throughout the doc. Um, yeah, so I thought this was good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't really have any critiques. There are some people I would have liked to hear a bit more from,
Mm-hmm.
but for whatever reason, they were not involved in the doc. They didn't sit down and do an interview. And I think that's unfortunate. I think it would have been nice to hear from more of the Wu Tang members.
Mm-hmm.
But you got a lot of the people who are Wu adjacent, Papa Wu, and um, I
Yeah.
forgot the producer's name. I can't think of it. I apologize. But one of the producers for the Wu was there, speaking about Dirty and working with Dirty and stuff like that. And we
Mm-hmm.
got to see a lot of hip hop legends, to be honest, whether you like who they are or not. But to have Stretch and Bobbito up there, Steve Rifkin, like, and some of the executives and managers and stuff, like some of these people are icons in the industry. So I think they tapped good people to give us a balance of the story. It wasn't like they found an angry manager and that's the only person we heard from. We heard from people who had business dealings with him and just business dealings, like the executive from Elektra,
Mm-hmm.
um, and like the manager who kind of you could tell had some level of love for him, but was his manager.
Yeah.
Um, and we also heard from people extremely close to him, like the Wu members and Wu adjacent people and his family, right? We heard directly from brother, dad, wife, daughters, son. Um,
Sister.
so I thought it was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I don't really have a complaint. I don't think they did a bad job at all. I think it was a good doc. It was a balanced doc. It wasn't like super long. It didn't really drag. They kind of moved the story along, and that's that. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
Um, there was one story I thought was missing, and maybe because I know a little bit about Wu, but I know there's a very specific story that RZA has shared
Mm-hmm.
about ODB coming to him in the studio and saying like, I don't have much more time. And then maybe 2 or 3 days later, something like that, he passed away. And I thought that conversation would be there, but it wasn't. And I guess RZA didn't participate to tell the story. Um, but I don't know. I don't know why it wasn't there because it's public. So I definitely thought that would be there as they got to the end of ODB's life, and that stretch of time. Um, Honestly, now that I also say this, I think it's a little sad that Kanye is kind of lost his mind because it seemed like towards the end, Kanye and ODB were developing a really nice relationship. They had done work together. It would have been cool to hear that story from Kanye. So it's also unfortunate that Kanye is kind of, uh, but yeah, I thought it was good.
I agree. I thought it was great. So I did. Yes, they did talk about his struggles. I I agree with that. I think they things I didn't know about what he was going through were discussed. But something that stood out to me also is that the people who knew him well, like his group members and his family, they all talked about how generous he was. I mean, I know his wife did speak about the fact that there were some issues there, some
Hmm.
domestic issues. So I don't want to misrepresent what she shared. I don't want to like rewrite her story. But something that a lot of the people in the documentary highlighted was that he was very generous.
Especially
Um,
when he first got on.
Yeah, and even they said he wasn't worried about like living in some lavish place or you know,
Having a ton of money.
having a ton of money. He would say that he could make more money, so he would give it away freely. To the point where his family even they expressed that they felt like people took advantage of him. And then when he really needed help, weren't there for him. I thought
Right.
that that really stood out to me that how generous people said he was, because those things stay with people. So when you're gone, that's one of the big things that people remember when you were kind and you were generous. Um, and
Absolutely.
we don't necessarily think of rappers as kind and generous. It doesn't mean that they're not. It's just not the first thought you have about them.
No, no, great point. Great point.
So I thought that was really cool to hear that he was like that and he left such an impression on people in that way. Um, whatever for whatever it's worth, because again, his family expressed that he wasn't always present and there were some flaws when it came to him as a husband and a father. So I don't want to change their experience in any way because their feelings are valid. But I thought that was pretty interesting. And like I said, I'm a really big ODB fan. I mean, I heard what was it, Fantasy? And I was like, oh, so I need more of this guy.
Yeah.
And probably one of the reasons, well, I always say that the reasons why I love Wu-Tang is because of Ghostface and ODB. Like,
Mm.
just if I heard anything they did, I was like, oh, wait, but I gotta hear everything else now.
Right. Hmm.
So, um,
I thought, if you don't mind me jumping in for a second, I thought it was really cool also that they spoke to his artistry, which just realized I didn't really say much about, but they spoke about his ability and kind of the way he was ahead of his time with certain things,
mhm,
his ability to kind of know the balance of, yeah, I can be super lyrical and do all of this stuff, which I did before I was known as ODB,
mhm,
but I also am going to analyze this track and see how can I not do that and kind of do this thing where I'm going to hold notes like a singer and change flows in a way that at that time really wasn't being done. And I thought that was great. And the other thing that I realized I didn't mention is people spoke about his struggle maintaining the image. Um, what's up?
I just realized I never turned on my ring.
Oh, I was like, why is that funny that he struggled with his image? Oh, the red
No,
light.
I'm so sorry. That was
No, it's
rude,
fine.
but
Just no, it's cool. It's cool.
because I was trying to like sneakily turn it on.
You could tell. It looked like you pulled back a window or something. Mad light just start coming from this side. It's fine.
I'm so sorry. I was like, why does it look so
Fine.
grainy?
Part of potting, you know what I'm saying? They'll
Mm,
be all right. Um, yeah, I thought it was great that they spoke about his struggle with um maintaining the character of ODB
mm-hmm.
because I don't think that gets highlighted enough.
Yeah,
There's a lot of artists who are known for being a character
yeah,
in one way or another. And a lot of people, speaking from personal experience, there are people, and I won't say a lot of people, there are people when you start doing music who tell you, you
mm-hmm.
should create another persona.
Mm-hmm.
You should create another version of you. It will elevate your artistry. And I'm not going to say that it does or does not. It worked for ODB. But
Yeah,
the reason I have never wanted to do that is because you have to maintain that character. If you decide that Dashing
yeah.
D is a pimp, then Dashing D got to be a pimp every time we see Dashing D. Every
Real
time you
thugs get
hear
down on the floor.
like a PM,
Duh.
you don't even know the history with that song. If Teds was here, he would crack you up right now.
Oh man.
Anyway,
Okay, next time I see Tez, I'm gonna be like, "What's the like a pimp story?" I need to know.
teenager JD stuff. Anyway, teenager JD antics. Anytime that song comes up, he's like, "Yo, you remember?"
He's like a
Yes,
good. He's a really good storyteller. He loves. He'd be
yes,
like,
yes, I do.
he's very nostalgic.
I'm like, yes, I do remember. Anyway,
I said real thugs, but I meant real girls. Y'all know what I
it's all good. Girls are thugs too. Anyway,
yeah. I used to think I was one. I've never been a thug. Just so we're
well,
clear.
anyway,
Yeah.
but if Dashing D is a pimp,
Hmm.
and that's the character that has come out, Dashing D has to maintain being a pimp at all times. Anytime Dashing D leaves the house, anytime Dashing D is on screen, anytime Dashing D is on someone else's record, Dashing D got to be a pimp.
I gotta put on my leopard coat.
Illegal leopard. And so that's a struggle, is my point,
Yeah.
right? And so I really appreciated that they spoke to that
Hmm.
because maybe someone else won't have to have that struggle,
Yeah.
and you can be yourself and authentically who you want to be, because it seemed like authentically ODB was a great guy. Ason Unique was a great guy. Everyone spoke about how he had such a beautiful soul, the type of energy he brought into the
Yeah.
room, all of those things.
He's
Life might
very
have
strong
been
in his
better
faith
for
too.
him.
Oh, sorry.
No, no, what'd you say?
I was gonna say you said Asan unique, so it made me think also, and something I was thinking about before was that he was very strong in his faith as well,
Yeah.
um, which I thought was really interesting.
You
You know,
you didn't know that part, right?
no,
Yeah.
um,
I know a lot about it because I read both of RZA's books.
mm,
There's
I didn't
two.
read those.
They're great. The first one, you kind of, in my opinion, the second one is better because it gives you more of the nooks and crannies. The first one is kind of like, here's Method Man. Let me tell you how he became Method Man. And here's what his first single was. And here's where he first signed. It's like mini autobiographies that
Mhm.
also tell you why the Wu is the Wu and how they were formed. I knew all that stuff already before reading the book, or most of it. So to me, it wasn't groundbreaking.
Mhm.
The second book really gets into the nooks and crannies. It's called Tao of Wu. That's
Mhm.
the one that's like, all right, I'm gonna have to read this a couple times.
Mhm.
But I have both of them and enjoy both of them for different reasons. But yes, I knew about that stuff, and I'm also a person who listens to lyrics a lot. You can hear a lot of the faith-based things in their early works.
Mhm.
Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to say I know you were talking, but I just wanted to say, like, I
No, I
think
thought
it
you
was
were going.
great that we took turns doing it.
We did.
Um, um, I just think it was good that they spoke to that because I think today there are probably more characters than ever. People may not admit it, but today I think there might be more characters than ever. And there are some struggles that come with it. So I thought it was great that they
Yeah.
shone light on that.
Yeah. And people
Back to you, Jim.
and a lot of times you see, and eventually the rebrand comes. Eventually it's like
If they stick around that
if
long.
they stick around that long, some people drop part of their name. Some people,
Mhm.
you got, I mean, not the same thing, but you got the weekend talk about he want us to call him Abel. Get out of here. Um,
And that's a great example. I know you're
you know
making jokes, but
how
that's a
I
great
feel about
example. That's a great example because the weekend said, and I quote, I have taken the character of the weekend as far as I can.
right. And I do understand it because the weekend was rooted in drugs and sex and deviant behavior. If you listen to if you listen to the Weeknd's earlier works, that's what it was about. It was about him
No,
getting high and
I'm just being silly. I know.
doing whatever people do when they get high.
Yep.
And listen, I feel when I really got into the Weeknd, and then this, I know we gotta go, but when I really got into the Weeknd, it occurred to me that all the straight laced people out there in the streets, weren't listening to the lyrics. They weren't. They were hearing like these really fun poppy beats. And they were like, ooh, this guy The Weeknd, he's great. Oh my gosh, let's go to his concert. But if you listen,
Right.
like
This
his
nigga's life
first three, like the
ecstasy.
anthology the trilogy that he did, the trilogy, it's deviant behavior with his alter ego, you know. And then and at that point he was calling his alter ego himself, which is
Mhm.
wild, which is why this is wild to me, and which is why I make fun of it, because I'm like, but you were telling us that Abel was the deviant, and now you want us to call you Abel. I mean, that's the
Yeah.
man's real name, but
Yes.
it's just to me it's kind of ridiculous when you think about it. But anyway, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. We'll call him Abel. We'll give him that, or we'll
And
black people will do what black people do and just be like, I mean,
and we'll see what new music
whatever
Abel
that
puts
nigga
out.
name is.
And we'll see what music Abel puts out. Because I don't know if Abel got the slaps like The Weeknd.
Will we? Will we see? Never mind. Okay, we need to go.
Final thoughts on the ODB movie, Doc.
It was sad, but I'm glad that it was made. I am. I am. And it just solidified for me how much I miss him and how much the culture how much of a loss it was to the culture when he passed away.
Definitely. And how many moves niggas tried to steal from him.
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
I will be remiss to leave this pod and not say that. A lot of y'all niggas
Yes.
done stole everything out the ODB playbook,
Right. Yeah.
including jumping on stage when niggas was winning Grammys.
Well,
And on that note, this has been Weeknights. We see y'all tomorrow.
bye.